This is the Civivi Vision FG in Ultim. Oh yeah, first impressions are good. I want to test out 5 different ways to use this blade shape and see how it fares at each of them, because it is unique. I want to see how it cuts with a tip, with that choil. I want to see it all. I was going to purchase this knife, but then I decided it wouldn't hurt to email Civivi, and they said, we'll send you one. So I did not purchase this knife, but it's something I sought out. It comes with this cloth, but you don't get it for the cloth, do you? All of the edges are chamfered. Not a sharp edge to be found. That makes it nice to handle, and gives it a uniform look. You can see the ball bearings there. The Ultim scales have a subtle texture to them. And there's that super lock. There's a small hole where you can see it engage. And 3 more holes. I thought these were useless, but I realized my fingers tend to rest in the first and third hole, and that actually gives a more secure grip. I carried it for a whole week before realizing that. These ball bearings are so smooth, the weight of the blade basically opens and closes itself. There's a spot for a lanyard here if you're so inclined. I really like how big it is. It doesn't feel like I'm going to drop it. I was at a knife shop and some of those Kershaws and bug outs are just so small. This one rests in the hand nicely while you're flicking it out. Right behind the edge we've got 0.48 millimeters. That's 0.14 millimeters thinner than my Manix 2. Let's do a quick size comparison. About 8 inches long. The cutting edge is significantly shorter than a fish tooth, but I think the fish tooth edge is actually too long for pocket carry. Okay, let's start cutting. That is a hair shaving sharp factory edge. The blade shape on this knife is very similar to a Japanese kiritsuke kitchen knife. So let's go find some food to cut. Well, it's no surprise it cut an apple. For our first real test, let's do some cutting on a board. Just barely large enough for this block. You can only rock this at a very low angle, otherwise the tip catches. So I'll just do some regular slicing. Pretty good shape for food prep. Now let's do some regular cutting. No need for dull letter openers. We've got a pocket knife. I should have read that. You can even cut towards yourself. Very nice. Okay, paper's too easy. Let's do some denim. Watch out for that choil there. It tends to catch. Pretty good. Speaking of the choil, let's try choking up on it to do some carving. This grip works pretty well. It looks a little dangerous, but the actual pressure I'm putting is far from the edge. Now let's see how the tip pierces. I keep catching on the choil, so I gotta remember to keep it away from the base of the blade. And then it's no problem. It's got a nice piercing tip. Next I want to try using just the tip for some precision cutting. This is the grip I would use on a utility knife or a hobby knife. And this actually worked pretty good as well. If you had a lot of cutting to do this way, you'd want to use something else, but it does the job. Now for the final blade use, nobody wants to be in this situation. But in the event of a dog attack, how does it fare? The dog's first tool is intimidation. Then they look for an opening so they can go for the throat. We can counter that with quick deployment and rapid erratic slashing. You'll have to fight for your life, but it can disable a canine. The cutting is done. How about that pocket carry? Very nice. Quick deployment. I like it. Looking at weight, we've got 4.2 ounces, so this is not a lightweight knife. Very close to the Manix 2, but I'm used to carrying a multi-tool, so this feels like nothing. Now for the conclusion. I like the size. It doesn't feel too small to hold, and it's not a giant knife. It's thin behind the edge, and it takes a razor edge. But my favorite feature is just how fun it is to use. I like that super lock. With the ball bearing pivot, it's just really convenient to use. What do you guys think about this blade shape? It's unusual, but it seems to work every way I used it. I think it looks cool. It does look like a kitchen knife. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.